Welcome back to Property Box Weekly News. I'm Nuria Kearns. Landlords will sell 500,000 properties in the next year. This is according to new research from the National Landlords Association. It says landlords' confidence is at its lowest since the dark days of the banking crisis. The proportion of landlords looking to sell in the next year has more than doubled since the summer. The sudden pessimism follows George Osborne's tax attack on the sector. Back in July, the Chancellor announced the removal of landlords' mortgage interest tax relief. This means that some landlords pay tax on zero income or even on losses. Also in November, Mr. Osborne announced that landlords would pay a 3% stamp duty surcharge from this April. He said that the policies were aimed at creating a level playing field in Britain's undersupplied property market. They come alongside a raft of help-to-buy products intended to make it easier to buy with a smaller deposit. Resentment is strongest amongst smaller landlords as they do not believe that they are part of the problem that the policies are designed to tackle, while companies holding more than 15 properties look set to avoid many of the penalties. Additionally, there are groups who will be inadvertently caught out by the stamp duty changes, with cash-poor parents trying to help their children and those with homes abroad facing higher stamp duty charges. Many predict that rents will rise as landlords seek to pass on the costs. Times like these could be the perfect time to buy, but education is key. You can find a link to all our free 2-hour workshops underneath this video and find which time suits you better. Get yourself the right education and learn how to deal with your properties correctly to avoid having to sell them. And ongoing low oil prices will cause an anxious wealthy elite in oil-rich countries to keep pumping their money into property, suggests the estate agent Knight Frank. Newly lifted sanctions on Iran also make it unlikely to cut oil production, and a global economic slowdown, sparked by China's weakening growth, is weighing the oil price down amid pessimism about the future demand. The low oil prices are hurting the oil producers' economies and pushing them into austerity measures, including spending cuts and tax rises. Capital outflows are following as wealthy citizens look to shelter their money elsewhere to ride out the storm. In the first half of 2015, £16.5 billion of private capital left Saudi Arabia, the world's largest oil producer. And prime central London property, a popular warehouse for foreign cash, may be the shelter that they're looking for. Find out more about what Knight Frank say about this in the link below. Thank you for watching and see you next week. Bye-bye. George announced the removal of landlords' mortgage interest tax relief. There's mortgage interest. Don't you? Stop doing that noise. Resentment is strongest amongst smaller landlords. Free 2-hour workshops. Shops. Capital outflows. Now I'm Canadian. Wasn't great, but let's just carry on. Keep calm.